Welcome to Film 360, the Full Circle Film Show. You may notice we're not in the normal space tonight.
What?
Yeah, and Michaela is mysteriously hovering. She'll be in a minute. We've got Ryan Templeman again with us. He's graciously agreed to be our lighting subject.
They needed someone almost translucent.
We're also going to be lighting Michaela in a few minutes. We'll bring her into a two-person setup. I just want to show you a few different scenarios and how I would choose to light them. I tend to favor a heavy rim light and things like that, so if that's not your flavor, that's fine. But I think a lot of what I'm going to show is going to be useful. I also want to show this equipment back here. I'm not going with super high-end. I want to show a lot of you frugal filmmakers out there that for very affordable prices, you can get some gear that will do what you need to do. And so this is actually what I've used for a ton of projects. A lot of my corporate stuff, a lot of my narrative stuff is no more complicated than what you're seeing behind me. So that's what we're going to practice on. So with that, we're going to have our producer, Les, turn off our lights. You're going to turn off these two. So it's going to get dark. Stay put. Don't worry. Do not adjust your television set. We're going to be doing some lighting. So stay tuned for Film 360 lighting setup. So I'm going to be just walking around and lighting, and guys, feel free to participate as much as you want. The biggest thing that I think we don't get to see as filmmakers is lighting happening in real time. We just see the end product, sometimes a time lapse. Okay, so this is a really tiny little light. This thing was 30 bucks. Okay, you can check out DSLR Shooter. He's got a great video about LEDs for under 50, and this was on his list. And it can do multiple color temperatures, which is nice. But that's a start. So what I'm going to start off with, though, is an interview, just a basic lighting setup. I've seen a lot of interviews where people are heavily lit from above, and that's just because whoever's making the video, whoever's making the video just used the lights in the room. And so people get raccoon eyes pretty bad, and that's no fun.
You know, that we should mention that you just said striking, which actually is for warning your talent, who you are lighting, your lighting subject, that you're going to be turning on a light.
So if you hear
Striking.
that, don't look at the light.
Don't look at the light.
I learned this the hard way on a set. My first professional set, I was being lit, and the guy next to me said striking. I had no idea what that meant, and I looked right at him and was
He meant
blasted.
you were striking. You're beautiful.
Yeah, I had no idea what it meant, and I was like, oh, they're going on strike? This is my chance. This is the first set that I've been on, and they're going to go on strike already?
Also, if you are one striking, you put your hand in front of it when you strike
Yeah.
to attempt to save said actor.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
got
can with these-
blasted pretty hard.
You can with these lights. If you're dealing with like a big tungsten light or something, you want to, unless you've got heavy-duty gloves on, you want to stay away from those. But yes, I do. I like to block as much of the light as I can. Okay. So now what you're seeing here, I would typically go a little tighter on an interview. There we go. And again, we get just a little bit of a brighter spot, just to give some shape to the face. Okay. Another important thing is these lights that I'm using are all the same color temperature. So that, some people don't think this is a big deal. To me, this is a very big deal. In my bathroom, actually, I've got one light bulb that's daylight, and the other three are, and it drives me crazy. And that can be the effect that you feel. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in here. Whoops. Loosen up my settings just a bit. Okay, so I want you to see what's going on there up close. And I'll be adjusting that shot from time to time. Okay, so it's kind of a nice shot. We want to get this out of there. Whoop, not that one, this one. Okay, and I just want you to look at the difference. That is, to me at least, a lot more boring and amateurish, and it also makes the set feel more closed. This is more interesting, but also it feels like maybe there's a window in the room, right? You're not just stuck in this black abyss, which I like. Now, another thing that I see often neglected, people like this, especially beginners, like this very dark background feel, right? You see this in a lot of first-year film school interviews. And it can be cool in the right setting to just have a black background. But what I like even better, and I may need to bring in another light for this, is I like to be able to see some of the background. And if you want that moody, all black feel, you can pretty much still achieve that. But with just a little bit of, maybe we need to turn this one back there. Our monitor's kind of dark. There we go. Okay. And now I need to bring this back to give him a little of that rim back. Okay. I had to bring it into the shot, which I normally wouldn't do, but I have more lights. Should something like this happen.
What's nice about this setup too, the distance from this light to here, because this is the one that's on my face, that's giving me my fill on this side here.
Yeah.
Because I have such a large schnoz, right? It casts a pretty big shadow. You can see this shadow but because the distance of it, it doesn't drag across my face on either side.
That's right. Thank you. That's another thing that I see a lot. Noses, even the smallest, most petite of noses can be made to look very unflattering and bad.
Right, but if you got a ski slope, like you gotta deal with that.
And so yeah, using your lighting appropriately can mitigate shadows completely. Now, but you'll notice it's not that there's no shadows on his face. Okay, in a lot of interview setups, people try to go for this no shadow look, and that's okay, I guess, if that's your flavor, your brand. I don't like it. It doesn't really work for me. But now let's take a look at him in this interview setup. You'll see fairly flat. It's not super interesting, but I love having a little bit of this background visible. And what that does is it tells your audience where you are. It gives them a little bit more information. If it's just a black background, people are like, so are they sitting in somebody's basement and they just had a black sheet to put across the door? Where are they really? And now I'm going to shut these off, and we're just going to look at another very common lighting setup I see out of beginners that bugs me. Well, we're going to talk about this look in a second. I see this look all the time. Oh, except without that.
This?
I see this all the time.
Wow.
Okay? And you can see the back and forth. This is... Anybody could do this look. Sit in a dark room with a window. Yeah, a flashlight, a clamp light. You can achieve this effect. It's not impressive. It's not beautiful. It's not interesting. And you're losing so much detail in the face. Okay? And maybe you want a dark, moody feel. But let's take a look at this again. Okay? You've achieved that same dark, moody feel. But now it's more interesting. It's more beautiful. It's not the most beautiful shot ever or anything, but it's more interesting, it's more beautiful, and it tells a different story.
Some of it's the subject matter.
I can only do so much, Ryan. Okay, now let's bring this back up with this setup. Okay, and just see how different that feels. These lights are really nice because you can just adjust the percentage, right, really easily. Or if we come over here, okay, and just get a feel for the different feel that gives. This is just ideas that I would use based on what I wanted to convey. But again, just to reiterate, this is a pretty weak lighting setup. And yet here I have, not a ton of money invested into these lights, and yet I've been able to take something and make it much more interesting. All right. So that was our interview. Let's turn it on one more time and show our interview setup. Sorry, did not say striking. That's on me.
Now your talent's upset.
Okay, so now let's try and set up something with what I like to call rim light. Now, I believe that's the correct term. I've heard people call it different things. But this is for more of like a narrative piece, okay? This isn't so much for... I'm going to turn that one off. This is not so much for an interview style setup, okay? So go ahead. I want you to turn just a little bit. Turn your chair a little bit so you're facing over this way some. So this is what I mean by rim. You can see that we can see his profile, okay, completely. Now if we turn this one on again, striking, we turn it real low. I see a lot of people who just don't do this, right? This is, again, it's very moody. and it looks okay. But if we have just a little bit of just a little bit more light on his face, and you can play around with the amount, but just about like that, and all of a sudden, how much more detail are you going to be able to see? His emotions, you're going to be able to get a feel for more of where you're at. And again, coming back to our background.
Why do you have that light in the shot again?
Sorry, that light just I've left it in the shot because it's a little bit weak.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. This would be good for, dialogue scenes in a drama or even a procedural kind of a look. I'm going to zoom in even a little closer. Okay, and it's not that we couldn't do better than this. This is just a quick, simple look. But how much better does that feel? How much better does that feel to you as a filmmaker than, just tossing the interview style look on you?
Well, yeah, it's a shape, right? Like you're getting the shape of the character, and so from an actor's standpoint, you're saying you're going to get the nuance of the performance because all the smaller facial expressions, a squint here or the turn of a lip there, those things are going to get captured. If I'm acting in the dark, then you don't get those subtleties, and then the performance is going to suffer, and then the audience doesn't get all the communication that the talent is trying to give you.
Yep, exactly right. So that's a feel, and I hope you're being able to see where I'm putting all these lights. Is this one blocking too much? A little bit. Okay, we can move that one because we're about to switch setups. I want to bring in Michaela, and now I'm going to show you how to kind of adapt this into a two-person setup. All right. This is a good note we're getting from Les, our producer. So we're going to take a second and kind of adjust some things for the sake of safety.
But where's my soapbox? I need to get on a soapbox.
It's an Apple box in our business, and no, actually, he makes a good point. Make sure to stay safe. We actually have mic cables around because we're using wired mics. So stay safe, stay smart. But real quick, actually, right now we're gonna adjust some of our cables. So now's a great time for some sponsor love. So quick thanks to Creative Stream for letting us shoot in their space. Voyage Direct Primary Care, they've got an awesome healthcare product. Check them out at voyagedpc.com, and also Summa Business Law. Check out their stuff. We'll be right back.
Peter is self-employed. He works hard to provide for his family, but he's found it almost impossible to provide them with decent health care. The cost of insurance keeps increasing while the coverage decreases, so Peter spends more to get less. And even with insurance, he often avoids taking his family to the doctor because of high deductibles. It's hard to get a timely appointment, and it's even harder to fork out hefty copays when visits rarely last more than 10 minutes. Enter Voyage Direct Primary Care. For one low monthly fee, Peter can provide his family with easy access to their own personal doctor, who specializes in caring for the whole family. Voyage Direct Primary Care is like the Netflix of medicine, but instead of unlimited movies, members get unlimited relaxed office visits, easy access to their doctor via text, phone call, video chat, and even an occasional house call. Say goodbye to copays and deductibles. Say hello to affordable, personalized health care. Voyage Direct Primary Care is fixing healthcare. Sign up today at voyagedpc.com.
Running a successful business is hard work, and navigating the complexities of the law is time-consuming and even costly. There are so many legal considerations: business formations, entity selection, taxes, partnership agreements, licensing, hiring employees, business contracts, non-disclosure agreements, sale of a business, estate plans, and mergers, just to name a few. This is more work than most business owners can handle on their own. Let Summa Business Law guide you through each phase of your business and help your business achieve further growth. Summa Business Law offers a flexible subscription service that makes it possible for anyone to have access to the business counsel they need. A monthly subscription can give you access to document reviews, protecting you from potential legal threats, one-on-one meetings, as well as business and legal advice. We offer mobile services that come to you to save you time and money, and calls and emails are available at any time at no additional cost. Contact Summa Business Law today to schedule your free consultation and help your business reach its potential. Welcome back. We're going to look at a two-person setup now. Two-person setups can actually be a lot more intimidating when you're starting out and a lot more complicated. But really, they're not actually that much more complicated, even if, and I'm going to go for that rim look still, because that's what we were just working on, okay? The interview setup that I started with, that essentially doesn't change. You might move the lights back a little bit, you might bring in a third one, but it's that flat kind of a look, so we don't need to worry about adapting that one. Now, I do want to talk about this kind of a rim look like you're seeing on Michaela. This is, I like this a lot for certain situations, and I'm creeping in the dark there. I like this look a lot for certain location situations. She can't move her head too much, so, I prefer to go, and I would go off screen, but I'm kind of running into the back of the wall. But if we want to get a little bit of rim on Ryan's face, so we're going to have you guys face each other just a little bit more in your chairs.
Just in the chairs? Or
Just in the chair.
chairs?
You don't have to scoot the chair if you don't want to. Okay. So in order to, I'm going to bring this up. Okay. So now you can see the light in the shot. Again, I would move it further back if I could, but I really am limited by space here. On a set, I actually would probably end up shooting the scene a little further that way to accommodate for more lights back here. But look how much we're getting on the side of Ryan's face. Now, some people like it really hot. I like to bring it.
Some people like it hot.
Some do like it hot. Jack Lemmon, for instance. I'm going to put it kind of at a midpoint. Now, here's what's interesting about light. You look at this, you're seeing me construct it and thinking to yourself, it doesn't look like that in real life. But go ahead and watch movies. Go ahead and watch some of your favorite movies, and you're going to see this look pop up again and again and again where it doesn't make sense with the rest of the scene. My wife and I play a game called Where's That Light Coming From? It's especially bad in cars. There's constantly light coming from places that don't make any sense in cars. Hang on, quick mic fix. But the reality is, a lot of times movie lighting doesn't technically make sense if you analyze it too much. But it looks nice. We like it. It's pleasant to look at. Okay, I'm going to turn this one up. Or on, striking. Okay. Now, you're seeing so much in their faces. You're seeing the details of their faces. And I'm only at 10% light. I'm not throwing a lot of light on there. We back it out a little more. Look at that. It's kind of a soft look. You could diffuse this light some more if you wanted to. Or you could, again, bring it closer and give it a much harsher look. Let's say she was sitting, let's say headlights or something flashed or whatever. But as long as we keep that nice and soft and at a good distance, we've got that rim on both of them. And we can see clearly, this is what I think is the most important thing about lighting that's getting neglected these days in movies, by some movies. A lot of times it's hard to tell where the character ends and the background begins.
Separation.
Right? Separation. And that's your whole goal with a lighting setup, isn't it? Just separate the talent from... It's like a painting. You have a focal point. And that focal point should be very obvious. And in most paintings, even if they're not your flavor of painting or whatever, that focal point's very obvious. Abstract art, a lot of times, it's still really obvious. But in a bad filmmaker, a bad cinematographer, DP, does not understand how to set this up and make the focal point clear. Okay, and again, I personally really like to have some sense of where my actors are. So here we are, and we just have that tiny little bit of light. And so maybe we can't even tell exactly where we are, but it's interesting now. That almost looks like, rays of light, or it could look like a lot of things, but it's far more interesting.
Yeah, so much of filmmaking is directing the eye, where the eye goes, and so concentrations of light, we're going to naturally put our eyes to. Lines, we follow lines. So you can create, like you said, these streaks that you're getting here in the curtain. So now I've got vertical lines here, and those vertical lines are going to be directing down to your talent, or taking your focal point up. So knowing what it is that you're trying to achieve, there's a real artistry to light, and some people really understand it, but it's not that it's not so difficult to learn.
Yeah. It takes some, honestly, it's taken just a lot of practical hands-on stuff like this for me, which is why I want to share this. And watching people who are a lot better than me do this on sets. Paying attention to where they're putting lights, how they're using them, how powerful a light is that they're using, because that actually is a big part of it too, is understanding, okay, this light is a nuclear warhead, and this light is a knife, a pen knife. Right. There's a huge difference in terms of how you use the lights and where you use them. Now, I want to show one other look. And then we're probably gonna wrap it up for this session. Depending on if you guys like this, be sure to like it and share it and stuff like that, so that I know, because I'd love to make more episodes like this.
And comment.
Yes,
so
and comment.
Tell us what you like about it.
Because I'd love to make more episodes that are hands-on like this, and bring in professionals who are better than me for them as well. But yeah, for the moment we're just gonna do some simple setups and okay. So I'm setting up all these lights, hitting up the background with everything, and putting almost nothing on the talent.
Makes me think of like a jazz, like.
Yeah,
so
moody
like,
jazz
yeah.
bar.
Feels kind of moody, but it's also flat, right? I mean, look at you guys. You're not nearly as interesting as that background now.
Nope.
And this is another problem that I see a lot. People, you try to use that silhouette effect, and either they get this, which is not quite silhouette but also not well lit, or they get the silhouette but you lose all the detail.
Yeah.
Which may not matter for your scene. And it can be really cool. I mean, Citizen Kane, tremendous use of silhouettes. Lots of movies use silhouettes really powerfully, and I love them, but they have to be used at the right place and time. So now we bring in just one other light, and sometimes this might be all you have. And let's say she's the one who's important at this moment, and we don't know much about him. That could work. They're equal importance. Okay, and I'm just kind of showing how different positions of this light and different volumes impact how you feel. And of course your camera settings can play a role in this as well, but you don't want to rely on your camera to judge your lighting. I actually have a little external monitor that is terrible, but I use it as a lighting guide because through it I can see the contrast, I can see the play of light, and even though I can't really judge color at all, it's so bad at color rendering, but this is what it really excels at, is just showing me lighting. Okay, so that's better. I can see their faces a little bit more, but I still don't like it. But all of a sudden, we introduce just a tiny bit of rim on one, even just on one of them. We're not even getting much on Ryan over there. Okay, but how much more interesting does the shot become with just that little extra bit? And let's swap these two. Okay, and we'll get some strong rim on there. Okay. Bring this to the front. We've preserved some of the moodiness, but now if this is a dialogue scene, we can see you. See your mouth, see your expressions. And again,
You can see my Adam's apple moving.
Look at that.
Now, and I'm not
Gulp.
This would be the setup for our Hell movie, but it's so this is not like a gorgeous shot. This isn't anything special. This is a foundation from which I could build, right? But it's an idea, and this is some of what I wanted to show, is just a feel for, what you can do with not that much light. So, again, comment and share and let me know, and we could do another episode like this. I could bring in a professional DP who can walk us through this a little more, maybe some bigger toys.
Maybe some better looking subjects.
No, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
I was talking about me.
It's okay, I already know.
But for a lot of you frugal filmmakers out there, like I said again, this little guy right here was $30. And with 4 of these, in many lighting situations, you could reproduce a lot of these similar looks. That's insane. You talked about last week how the barrier for entry has come down so much. A light that put out not much more than this 20 years ago would have been a couple $100,
For sure.
if not much more.
For sure.
And these are one of the reasons
And would also have a giant cord that was running 1.5 miles to your generator.
Exactly where I wanted to go next. Part of the reason I favor these lights so strongly in my work, corporate and narrative, is because, I got no strings to hold me down. I can just move this wherever I need to, and just buy a dozen backup batteries, and you're good for several days, even potentially, of filming with a good light. And just one other thing I want to note real quick, which is color temperature. I talked about. I made sure these were all the same color temperature, but this guy right here can change color temperatures. Again, something you would not have gotten just a few years ago. And for $30, you can go daylight or tungsten, and that changes your feel completely. Whoops. Now it's being weird. Anyway, changes your look and feel completely. Yeah, you saw the gist. And these ones do not change color temperature, but they came with little gels that I can just toss in there that are amber colored, and that gives you the option of going either way. And if you like really heavily stylized lighting, think Blade Runner or Drive, if I'm remembering right, that have heavy reds and greens and that really stylized stuff. I mean, that's easy with these too. Just they don't get hot. I mean, this has been on now for 10 minutes plus, and I can just pick it up and touch it. It doesn't get hot. So just buy some crepe paper or something if you have no money, and make sure you don't leave it there for too long. But one time I even tossed for diffusion. I tossed a plastic sack from Walmart over one of these, and it worked beautifully. I wouldn't, again, do not leave it for long, but it did the trick for that one shot, and I was good to go. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks, guys, for being my lighting subjects. And we'll see you guys next time on Film 360.